Our top story tonight, the Trump impeachment saga, as the House Judiciary Committee holds its first ever public hearings. Good evening, I'm Madison LaBerge.
And I'm Daria Yasmin. Thank you for joining us. The hearings come after the House committees adopted a nearly 300-page report yesterday, accusing President Trump of abusing his office and endangering national security.
Today, the House Judiciary Committee took the reins with 4 legal scholars, 3 of whom were invited by the Democrats, testifying on Capitol Hill. This comes just one day after the House Intelligence Committee, led by California Congressman Adam Schiff, made their impeachment investigation report public.
This is precisely the misconduct that the framers created a Constitution, including impeachment, to protect against.
The witness took jabs at key Republican talking points, including the argument that withholding from Ukraine does not amount to an impeachable offense because it was ultimately released. But Professor Jonathan Turley stood out as a clear defender of President Trump.
Impeachments have to be based on proof, not presumptions. That's the problem when you move towards impeachment on this abbreviated schedule.
3 Arizona lawmakers were also on hand as the House Judiciary Committee began its impeachment hearings. Democrat Greg Stanton and Republicans Debbie Lesko and Andy Biggs are members of the committee.
Heather Cumberledge in our Washington bureau tried to track them down during breaks in the hearing to get their take on the proceedings.
In 8 hours of testimony, so far, Democrats have hit hard on what they call President Donald Trump's abuse of office and obstruction of justice, while Republicans repeatedly said nothing rises to the level of impeachment. And after 8 hours, there appears to be little room for agreement.
This continues to be a very partisan process. You've seen it in the past. You see it again today.
After the first few hours of testimony, Arizona Representative Debbie Lesko said the hearing was stacked against Trump and his defenders on the committee. She said Republicans were not given equal speaking time and were quickly shut down by Chairman Jerry Nadler when they tried to talk. In his opening statement, Nadler chose to focus on the historic magnitude of the proceedings.
Never before in the history of the Republic have we been forced to consider the conduct of a president who appears to have solicited personal political favors from a foreign government. Never before has a president engaged in a course of conduct that included all of the acts that most concerned the framers.
Democrats repeatedly invoked the Constitution, and today's hearing focused on 4 constitutional lawyers, one of whom, Democratic witness Noah Feldman, said there is enough information for lawmakers to make an informed decision.
On the basis of the testimony and the evidence before the House, President Trump has committed impeachable high crimes and misdemeanors.
But Jonathan Turley, the sole lawyer called by Republicans, said there is no crime that rises up to the level of impeachment.
I'm concerned about lowering impeachment standards to fit a paucity of evidence and an abundance of anger.
Lesko said she does not think today's hearing changed many minds on the committee or among the public.
If they're trying to sway the public, I don't think this particular witness group is going to do it, because they're talking about, what happened back in the House of Commons back in, the 1800s or something. I don't think most people are going to stay tuned in.
Committee members spent the afternoon asking questions that were often phrased more like statements, and when the time came for him to talk, Congressman Andy Biggs accused the witnesses of having made up their minds long before the hearing even began. In Washington, for Cronkite News, I'm Heather Cumberledge.